Daniel stood outside the courtroom door, his hands shaking and his eyes fixed on the cold tiles beneath him. He had never feared anything more than this moment, the moment that could decide whether he would lose custody of his 7-year-old son, Oliver. His entire world was inside that room, being discussed like a case file, a set of papers, a decision made by strangers in suits. Oliver wasn't just his son, he was the only piece of life that still felt like home. After his wife Emma left him, taking half the house and all the affection he once knew, Daniel tried everything to hold himself together. But losing his job during the same time had only made things worse. The court had doubts. His ex-wife had a lawyer. He had fear. And the only thing he truly had to fight with was love. Daniel sank onto the wooden bench, closing his eyes. He remembered the nights he worked double shifts at the construction site, just so Oliver could have the school trip he dreamed of. He remembered walking him to school every morning, even when his feet trembled from exhaustion. He remembered Oliver's tiny hand holding his, and how that one touch made him believe he still had purpose. But none of those moments were inside the court file. The world didn't see love, they only saw stability, money, jobs, schedules. Things Daniel didn't always have. What if they take him away, he whispered to himself. The thought felt like a knife twisting deeper each second. What if today is the last day I ever hear him call me Dad? Meanwhile, Oliver sat inside the courtroom with a social worker. His small legs dangled from the chair, swinging nervously. He clutched the little paper airplane his father had folded for him that morning, taped and creased, but still flying in his heart. My dad makes the best ones, he told the social worker proudly. He says when things are hard, you just fold life the right way and it'll glide again. The woman smiled gently, but the tension in the room was thick. Lawyers whispered, judges waited, and decisions hovered. When Daniel was finally called inside, his heart dropped. The judge looked at him with calm eyes, but it didn't calm Daniel. Emma sat across from him, her lawyer flipping through documents, making him look like a man unfit, unstable, unable to provide a secure environment. They talked about missed bills, late rent, lost job. They painted a picture of a struggling father who was sinking. But no one talked about love. No one talked about the nights Daniel stayed awake nursing Oliver's fever. Or how he'd sell the last thing he owned just to keep his son smiling. Or how he had been interviewing every day for new jobs, refusing to give up. Daniel felt powerless as the words swirled around him, words that didn't reflect his heart. Then the judge turned to Oliver. Oliver, she said softly, you've been very patient. I want to ask you a question. Where do you feel the safest? Where do you want to live? The entire room went silent. Emma straightened up. Daniel swallowed hard, his eyes burning with unshed tears. He didn't want to pressure Oliver, he didn't even want him to feel like he had to choose. He just wanted him to be happy. Oliver looked at his mother. Then at his father. Then he stood up, small, brave, determined. I want to live with my dad, he said clearly. His voice didn't shake. His hands didn't tremble. Because my dad, he never gives up on me. Emma's lawyer raised an eyebrow, preparing to argue, but Oliver wasn't done. He took a deep breath and said words that silenced the entire courtroom. When I'm with my dad, I feel like I matter. He listens to me. He plays with me. He works very hard even when he's tired. My dad doesn't have a lot, but he gives me everything he can. And when I have nightmares, he sits next to me all night so I'm not scared. My dad is my safe place. Please, don't take me away from him. Emma blinked, stunned. The judge leaned back, absorbing every word. Daniel covered his mouth with his hand, feeling tears finally fall, unstoppable and pure. Those words, those small, powerful words, were the truth no lawyer could twist, no document could erase. They came straight from a child's heart, and in that moment, they saved him. The judge took a long pause, then finally spoke. Based on the testimony, the efforts shown by the father, and the child's clearly expressed emotional well-being, I am granting joint custody, with primary placement to the father. The gavel hit. The decision was made. Daniel felt his breath return, like someone had pulled him out of deep water just before he drowned. Oliver ran to him and Daniel picked him up, holding him tight, their tears mixing as they hugged. "You saved me," Daniel whispered. But Oliver shook his head. "No, Dad. You saved me first." Later, as the two walked out of the courthouse hand in hand, Daniel felt a renewed strength inside him. He had been broken, doubted, judged, but love had won. Not money. Not status. Not power. Love. That day, Daniel promised himself he would work harder, grow stronger, and give Oliver the life he deserved. Not because the court demanded it, but because his son believed in him, and that was the greatest motivation in the world.